What's up, Soul Squad? What's up, Soul Squad? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my kitchen. Okay, who's thinking about blueberry muffins? I was thinking about blueberry muffins. Mother Day is around the corner. Somebody may want to do quick, easy Sunday breakfast or Sunday brunch, and you want some amazing, soft, but over the top blueberry muffins with the crumble, which is my favorite part. So, guys, sit back and relax and do what? Hit that intro. Hit that intro. Okay, guys, right here I'm dicing up some cold butter cubes so I can make that crumble to go on top of the muffins. And if you wonder why I'm doing the intro, because it's early on a Saturday morning, everyone is getting ready for work, and it's just too much noise in the background. And I really wanted to get this video out here on Sunday. So yeah, that's why I'm doing the voiceover. But yeah, I'm just cutting up some cubes. I did about 6 tablespoons of cold cubes. It's just easy that way. And then once I get them all cubed up, I am going to throw in my flour and my sugar. The crumbly part is like the most important part that my family love on top of these muffins. Cannot make homemade muffins without it. So once you get your little six tablespoons of cold unsalted butter, guys, and cut them up in those cubes like that. Oh, you could shred them up. I'm going in with, look like a that was my flour. So yeah, that's a half a cup of flour. And then also going in with a half a cup of regular white granulated sugar. Some people use brown sugar, so if you want to use brown sugar, you can. But I just wanted to make these ones just nice and plain and simple. And some people may toss in a teaspoon of cinnamon. I mean, it's so many different variations of the crumble, but I just like to keep it plain and simple with the cold cubes of butter, half a cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, and you go in with your hands or even with a fork. But you know, I love using my hands, get it in there and crumbling up these crumbles. Then once after I crumble them up and get them into the consistency that I'm looking for, then I'm going to place them in the refrigerator, because using your hands and you're crumbling them up, it does tend to make the butter soft and it start getting warm. But I want my crumble to be cold when it hits the top of these muffins before they go in the oven. That way that butter would just break down and melt, and it goes into, and that butter seeks down into that muffin, and this just come out really, really well. So guys, after I show you guys how to the crumble's supposed to look at the end, almost like a biscuit dough, when you crumbling up your cold when you coming up your cold lard or your cold butter into your biscuits. I said lard, Lord, I meant shorten it into your biscuits, and it'd be nice and crumbly. So that's what this is. I know a lot of people had trouble how do you make the crumble? It is so easy. You guys saw it here, and it's just those again, some people use melted butter, but I like using the cold cubes. So I'm gonna continue to crumble these up. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you guys what it should look like. And then after that, there's placement in the refrigerator while you're preparing everything else. Okay? Okay, so squad, look at this. This is the perfect crumble. I'm tapping it just to loosen up, but this crumble came out amazing. This is the perfect crumble. You can see the butter clumps. You can see how crumbly it is. Now I'm gonna place it in the refrigerator until it's time to use it to keep that butter solid and cold and clean up my mess. But this is the way it should look. Okay, so in this bowl, you saw that butter. I'm going to do my dry ingredients, and I'm putting my dry ingredients in here, and I'm sitting to the side. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm stumbling. Okay, I'm gonna sit it to the side. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with 2 cups of flour. I'm using an all-purpose flour, not a self-rising flour, and I'm going to use 2 cups. Now, I always tell you guys, I don't measure when I'm doing seasonings and things like that, but when it comes to baking, you got to measure, you got to cap it off. So I am using 2 cups of all-purpose flour here, and then I'm going to go in with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I always use 2 teaspoons of baking powder because that's just a thing. I just feel like I need it. So I want to make sure my stuff get the rise. Okay. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now I am making blueberry muffins, and y'all know blueberry and lemon kind of go together. So I am going to take this one lemon that I had here, and I am going to use the zest of one lemon in my dry ingredients here. So make sure that you zest it well. As you zest it, just keep turning the lemon and then knock it off, because it's so hard sometimes to see that you're zesting. But you see the lemon zest going in there, and it's gonna be the zest of one whole lemon. Try not to get down to the white part, which is the grainy part, because that's the bitter. That white part that's underneath the lemon, you don't want to get that. So just keep tapping and zesting, and as you zesting, once again, just keep constantly moving your lemon into a circle so that you could get all sides. And what I'm doing here, I'm just tapping down my little zester, my grater, and I'm getting all that lemon peel off of there. So yes, you see that my lemons in there? You can barely see them, but they in there. But we're gonna stir everything all up together. So that's 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a zest of one whole lemon. And then just your dry ingredients, and we're gonna set it to the side. Now I took that butter you saw in that bowl, and I poured it into this green bowl. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just used that to melt it. And so right there, 1 stick of unsalted butter. Guys, melt your butter first so that it can cool down while you're making your crumble and making your dry ingredients, because you don't want those eggs to start cooking. So by the time you finish doing all that, that butter should be cooled off. Add your 2 eggs and use the vanilla. When I got pure vanilla, I will use it, but I don't hesitate to use imitation vanilla if I have it on hand. But I always go for my pure vanilla first, and I'm going in with just 1 teaspoon of this pure vanilla, 2 eggs, and 1 stick of unsalted butter. Now I'm going in with my sugar. When it comes to the sugar, it varies. It's up to you. With this recipe, I did 1 cup of sugar, but ultimately, I'm gonna say this recipe really needs one cup and 1/4 cup of sugar. So when you do this recipe, it's going to be in the description below. 1 and 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, the part that make these muffins so amazing, guys, is that this sour cream brings it all together. Brings it all together. That is 1/4 cup of sour cream. Don't do any extra. Don't do any more. If you don't have a 4th cup, a measuring cup, that will be 4 tablespoons of sour cream. So if you don't have a 1/4 cup measuring cup, that would be 4 tablespoons of sour cream. And not using a regular cereal spoon, actually get a measuring spoon from your measuring spoon kit, your measuring spoon, cooking utensil, baking utensil, so you can actually get 4 tablespoons if you don't have a 1/4 cup. Now, what I'm about to do is that I just did 1/3 cup of milk. Guys, do 1/3 cup of milk. Everything about this recipe is going to be in the description below. So I have my eggs, my sugar, my butter, my vanilla, my milk, my sour cream, and I'm going to mix. This is my wet ingredient. And I'm going to take my whisk, and I'm just going to mix it up all nice and well. With this recipe, you don't even need a blender or anything. You can actually use your hand, and see how I'm just mixing everything up. Those are all my ingredients in there. These are my wet ingredients. And once I get them eggs mixed up in that butter really well, then we're going to go ahead and add in our dry ingredients. So yeah. So I just added in, these are just my wet ingredients, and I'm going to continue to mix it. I want to make sure I do a good mix on this. Yeah, girl hands are getting tired with that arthritis, but yeah. So I did a good mix on this. So this is almost ready. Let me stir it up again. Get that whisk working, get that elbow, put in that elbow grease. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right here. All right, this is finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my dry ingredients, and I'm just putting it all in one at a time. I put it all in one at a time. And at this point, we just typically almost finished because once we add in our dry ingredients and we stir it all up, yeah. So with this guy, I told you you're gonna use 1/3 cup of milk. I only use the half a cup of milk, but I'm alternating the recipe for you guys as I do it to make sure that yours come out so nice and perfect the way it need to be. So we're just stirring up our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients until it get all well combined with all the flour and everything. And then once we finish stirring it up, get all the flour on the sides. And see, mine's looking like this. I only used a half a cup of milk, and I should have used 1/3 cup of milk. I haven't made my muffins in such a long time, so you know the recipe is like in the back of my head. And I should have added a little more milk, but she didn't. But they still came out great anyway. So to this batter, I'm adding in 1 cup of blueberry muffins, and I'm using blueberry muffins. Blueberries, and I'm using frozen blueberries. You could choose to use fresh. And I bought so this 1 cup. I said, you know what? This might be not be enough. I love me some blueberries. I'm going to. But what I would say, my son said they had a little bit too much blueberry in it for they like it. So this recipe, if you like blueberries, I'm gonna say use 1.5 cups. I just did too much of the blueberries, but hey, they was good to me. My family loved it. They said, Mom, all these blueberries. I said, yes. But next time I know, I might just use 1 cup, and that will be really good. But I'm saying they came out good because, honey, them blueberry muffins got gone in the house, okay? So I'm mixing it up really well. At this point, you don't want to use your wire whisk. You don't want to use a blender. You're just going to fold in those blueberries. And some people love fresh blueberries because they don't like their blueberries to turn colors. But I always like the blue streaks, the two-tone color that comes from the frozen blueberries. So that's why I always use frozen blueberries. And this is why I say you need that 1/3 cup of milk. Though the batter was thick, it was a little bit too thick for me. But at this point, I didn't want to add any more milk because I really didn't want to mess up the color of my blueberries. So we're going to go to the stove, y'all. I got over here like a half a cup of blueberries was left in my bag, a tablespoon of sugar, and I'm about to squeeze in 1/2 of a lemon, so like a teaspoon of lemon juice. And we're gonna turn the stove down low, and then I'm gonna mash it. I am making like a blueberry compost. While the compost is over there cooking on low, and once the blueberries get the popping, I'm gonna mash them down. So I'm making like a blueberry compost. So you see how thick I said my batter was? Yeah, so that's why I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be 1/3 cup of milk. So I want your batter a little bit looser than that. But it came out great. If I wasn't, I didn't want my batter to turn all blue, because if I would have added the milk, some more milk at this point, it would have combined with the blueberries, and I would have had a more bluier batter than what I had, and I didn't want that. This was a perfect consistency for the batter color that I want. But yeah, it just, I just had to use a spoon, and I'm using that 1/4 scoop, a measuring cup, to put my blueberries and put my dough into my tin, into my cupcake liners. Now, you don't have to use cupcake liners. If you have a muffin pan and some spray, do what you do. I didn't have any spray, and I actually bought this just so I could do it with the liners on it. But sometimes I really don't use the liners. but I just wanted to do the liners today. So I'm gonna continue and look, I messed that one up. That's how thick it was. So let me fix that. So I'm gonna continue to fill up my cupcake pans with my batter, and we're gonna go back over here to the stove where I can show you my compost. What the compost is over here doing. So the compost is over here bubbling. It's doing what it's doing. I'm taking a fork. I don't know why I use a plastic fork, guys, because I gotta invest into some real forks. Cause I just every time you buy real forks, for some reason they disappear. So I got tired of buying them. So I just make sure I just keep me a fork. But for certain recipes like this, I need a real fork. Okay. But I'm smashing them down, and I'm gonna let this compost cook down and smash it down to compost turn to like a little jelly situation. And I'm gonna take this, okay. Look how she came out. See how it came out like a little jelly type. And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it on top of my blueberries. Yes, y'all. Now this part I never did before. I actually saw this part on TikTok where someone made a little blueberry compost and put it on top of the blueberries on top of their muffins, and it looked so amazing. I said, I got a blueberry muffin recipe. I said, you know what? I'm gonna make some blueberry compost and see how that turned out. And y'all, let me tell you, that thing turned out good, okay? I had enough blueberries left just to make it for these 12. So I end up having, and this batter ended up giving me 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 blueberry muffins out of this. Okay, y'all, I'm going there with the topping with my strudel. Man, it stayed in the refrigerator. It's still cold. I just had to chunk it up a little bit because when it get cold, it came back together. But that's okay. I just chunk it up, and now you're about to throw your strudel on top. Let me tell you. Yeah, these things was good. So that blueberry compost is coming part of my regiment when I make blueberry muffins. Thank you, TikTok. TikTok will make you do it. Okay. Yeah, so we're putting that crumble on there. As much crumble as you want. As much crumble as you want. It's up to you. My family really love the crumble, so I tend to put a lot on top of mine. But you could be moderate and just use just a little bit crumble, but not a whole lot. But yeah, y'all, putting this crumble all over here, okay? Eating it fall to the side. I got one down. See, look at it. And one more to go. Man, it's nothing like doing homemade something on your own. And if you was to use the jumbo, I would say if you made jumbo muffins with this recipe, I would say instead of getting 12, 13, 14, instead of getting 16 muffins, you might end up about 8. If you use this recipe and you use jumbo, you may end up with about 8 muffins. That's only if you make it with real fat jumbo muffins. So you may want to double this. But if you're making the standard like cupcake size, we end up getting 12, 13, 14, 16 muffins out of this recipe, which was good. So everything is nice and crumbly. I got my oven on 400, and these gonna go in the oven. I put them on a cookie tray in the oven on 400 for like 30 to 35 minutes. So they were like golden brown around the edges, and the top part was nice and done. It's like you do your cake. They were golden brown around the edges. Y'all, look at these things. Look at these things. Tell me they ain't come out good. When I tell you my house was smelling good, they came out good, they looking good. And okay, guys, I'm taking 1 out the 10. Man, look at that blueberry. That's why I used the 2 cups. But yeah, everybody, I forget sometimes. Girl, you're just not cooking for yourself. But yeah, so if you want to use 2 cups, you can, because that blueberry is like, what? Popping. But but the recipe is gonna be in the description. They were smelling good, they were nice and hot. I could hardly hold it. I split them open for you guys to see all delicious blueberry in the inside. Like I said, the crumble is really the family favorite part on these, but they're so nice and soft, and that comes from that sour cream. God, these things is really hot, but they were so nice and soft and done all the way through. All right, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified into my next video, guys. Check out my channel, SoulfulT Vlogs, and my sister, New Life Journey.